5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Trapaholics, we make it look easy.
What?
I was reciting some brain rot. Don't worry about me. Actually, I wasn't ready. I lied. The Google Doc is still loading. Okay, I'm good now. Okay. Um, my computer's so ass. It's lagging all the time. Okay. Hello and welcome to episode 7 of the Race Hangover. I'm one of your hosts, Austin Terry, joined by Katie LeBoudler. And we have realized that we don't really go over how the show is formatted. So I'm going to quickly explain that real quick. So first, we're going to do a little recap of what happened in the previous race, or what is going to happen, depending on if it's a preview show. And then we go on to our top 3 moments of the race, followed by the Race Hangover Awards, where we award drivers for driver of the day, Comeback King, Best Radio, Invisible Man, and the Brake Check Champion. And then we go have our final thoughts in case unless anything huge has been announced that we need to talk about, and then we do an outro. So that is it. But this is our Spanish Grand Prix episode. We are we were really bad with this one considering I only watched half the races. She watched the last 6 laps. So
Guys, not my
um
best work, but
yeah, I'm covering. So for the recap, I'm covering laps 1 through 60, and Katie's covering the 6 laps she woke up for because I was at work and I had no idea what was happening. I didn't even see the George Russell collision till like 7 p.m. that night. Right? Okay.
anyway.
So, do you have any statements to make before we start?
I would like to make the statement that every episode Austin has written the intro, and that's why it's never been gone over like what we do in each episode. So I was like, hey King, maybe this time like intro the actual episode and not just like, hey, I'm Austin.
I mean, I am Austin.
Hey.
Just gonna put that out there into the universe, you know. If
Yeah.
I'm not me, who else gonna be me? That made no sense.
How did you make that up?
Yes.
I thought you were quoting something.
No, I think I made that up.
That makes it worse.
I don't think I quoted somebody. Okay, anyways, we're
God.
gonna move on to the recap. So that one, it was a somewhat tame start. All that really happened was Hulkenberg and Alonso were fighting toward the back of the grid, and Max overtook Lando, which kind of gifted Piastri a very, very smooth sailing 66 laps. Um, but on lap 13, because nothing happened in the first 12 laps, Lando retook Max after about 2 laps of trying, and he got his little P2 there. And on lap 14, Alonso decided he wanted to have a little play in the gravel, and did what he did. And at that point, it looked like his point streak was going to be so cooked, like so unfathomably cooked. And I can't lie, I giggled at it. I was sitting there and I'm like, oh man, he's in his home race as well, considering Science is chilling at the back of the grid too.
Yeah.
Vamos. Um, that 27, I think it was. Albon, it was around this time. Albon and Lawson collide after a Lawson dive bomb and ends up screwing up Albon's race. His front wing's cooked, but
Yeah.
they gave Albon a 10-second penalty because I think he left the track, rejoined ahead of Lawson, and just didn't give up the place, I think. So he got a 10-second penalty for that when he was trying to retire. Like they told him box to retire, and he was gonna do it, and then they gave him a penalty, so they brought him into the pits, let him serve the penalty. He had to do a lap of shame before he came back into the pits to retire. I felt so bad for him. Because that's just it's out of his hands at that point. But
Yeah.
on lap 29, he retired. On lap 31, Lawson returns with the dive bomb, and this time hits Oliver Behrman. Um, I just
Lawson is back in full form, guys. Biblically
this is
accurate Liam Lawson.
this is what we didn't miss it. Nobody missed this, but it's It's what you should have got instead of a not confident Liam Lawson. It's him trying for overtakes, making things somewhat interesting. Now, on lap 52, because nothing kind of happened in the next 20 laps,
No.
um, Lawson and Behrman decide to battle again and hold up Lando and Max Verstappen, which ends up in Max putting some hand gestures out of the car, which is still really, really funny. He was comedy this entire weekend.
Yeah.
On lap 55, Kimi's car decided it doesn't want to do it anymore.
Yeah.
And Kimi goes into the gravel. And that's him retiring, which brings out a safety car. So McLaren hit a double stack, which is always nervous to watch
Yeah. It
any
was nice
team do a
though.
double stack. It was a very, very calm double stack, but it's always, it gets you shaky thinking, oh,
You know
they're going to
what?
screw this up.
Let's talk about this now. On the topic of the double stack, do you think Oscar held under the green light for a minute?
Um,
Like he did, but do you think he did on purpose?
no.
No.
Well, I mean, whether he does it on purpose or not,
It didn't really.
they're coming out on a safety car. Like
Yeah.
it doesn't do much. Like if it was a double stack in just a normal race,
Yeah.
then I feel like it would have been more intentional just to get in that extra, half a second. But
Yeah.
I think that's just either innocence or just not going ahead of time because it looked like a calm double stack. Like nothing was
Yeah.
terrible,
It
but
looked calm. People
um,
on Twitter though.
oh, don't get me started on Twitter.
Yeah. And TikTok. God, they're both so bad.
They are. It's yeah, it is so weird. I saw some page post a picture of Colapinto's like front tire on like lap on like one of the early laps, and it was degrading because
Yeah.
Spain's hot and the tires degrade quick,
It's true.
and they were just like, oh, this is Alpine's fault pretty much, like, and it was just really funny to watch. I'm
People are
like,
so
no,
dumb.
that's just a degrading tire.
Yeah.
Um, and then well, on still lap 56, Max Verstappen gets put on the hard tire, which started a huge spiral. Which this is the end of what I have to talk about, so it's you get to
Yeah.
talk about the spiral.
Well, I don't think that started the spiral. I think the like lost and Behrman thing, that got
That might have
started.
started it for me.
The hards really solidified that we were going to experience a max crash out. Because on lap 61, when the reset finally happened, Max kind of loses it, almost loses it into the gravel with Charles right behind him. And Charles had to wait for the start finish line to kind of overtake him. And they had a little bump, Twitter said they were holding hands for Pride Month. I agree. Right down the straight. And then after that, Russell tries to sneak by too. He's like, oh, Max is vulnerable right now, which causes Max to go off into the runoff area to maintain his position. He comes out ahead of George. So then on lap 64, he's advised to let Russell through because of the potential advantage gained by the going off track. And Max was having none of that advice. He was just like, no. They're like, we're like telling you this is probably your best bet. And he's like, no. So then he looks like he's gonna let him go through, but rams into the side of him instead, just deciding not to turn on the apex and just going straight into George. And then George's radio here is so funny. He's like, what the hell is going on? And his engineer's just like, listen, I don't know. And that was really funny. The guy's just like, I don't get it, man. And then lap 65, Nico Hulkenberg overtakes Lewis Hamilton in a Sauber. Like, what is going on in this race? And then Alonso passes Lawson and does get his first points of the season at his home race. Cinematic. Lap 66, absolutely no drama for Oscar and Lando as they secure McLaren's first 1-2 in Spain since 2000. And Oscar Piastri secures his fifth win of the season, regaining a 10-point lead over Lando because he had cut it to three in Monaco. In the Drivers' Championship, that's a close race between the two of them, but no one else. Max is kind of with his 10-second penalty that he got for ramming into George, a little out of the race now. The two of them have also expanded their constructors' lead to literally 200 points, which is insane. But on the constructors' note, Ferrari has now passed Mercedes for second in the constructors, and that will be the true fight of the season for second because McLaren's really running away with first.
Yeah, it would take a generational fumble for McLaren for
Yeah,
them
and we're
to
not,
not get that.
yeah, and we're not claiming that energy. So,
Not at all.
no.
So with that, let's go to the top three moments of the race or race weekend.
All
I'm
right,
gonna pull my phone up for this because I write in my notes every single time.
me too, but I keep them on my computer because I'm like organized like that, and because I have
I
a MacBook because I'm not
Yeah.
dumb.
Yeah, the broke allegations, huh?
Okay. I'll start with the most obvious one. The beef is so back. I'm so excited for the Max Verstappen George Russell beef. Like it's just gonna be entertaining if it stays. Like there's really been no like besides Lawson just running into everybody, there hasn't been a lot of beef this season because the championship race is between Oscar and Lando, and as much as everyone thinks they're getting divorced and hate each other, they really don't. And we'll talk about that later with my other moment, actually. So I'm here for the beef, even if it's for like third or fourth in the Drivers' Championship standings. I'm here for it.
I want to point out as well. Everyone was like, "Oh, Landowska, you need to recreate this
Yeah.
the
Oh my
the
God.
Mercedes thing." And
Yeah.
then everyone's like, "Neither of them have the dog in them to do
Yeah.
this."
I saw those everywhere.
Well, my one moment as well was Max and George, but I'm gonna switch this up to Max Verstappen's post-race interview with the Sky Sports journalist, where he was having none of it. She was trying to like get him to either admit that he did wrong or
Yeah.
just trying to get a story out of him, get a headline out of him. He was having none of it, and he was just silently crashing out on her.
All of the
I-
post race, like, so funny. Like, all of
So
the
fun.
post race was hilarious. And that's one of mine is Oscar and Lando in the cool down room was so funny. Not only the whole deodorant thing, which was like absolutely hysterical. Being like, "Are you wearing my deodorant?" And he's like, "No." He's like, "Is it a female one?" And he's like, it's chocolate." And then he says flavored, not scented, flavored. Not only can I not fathom what chocolate scented deodorant would smell like, don't even get me started on what it would taste like. Like, what are we doing?
I I can just imagine him either with a spray or like the actual rolling stick,
It's
chewing
just
the rolling stick, or just like when dogs have like a
like the
hose and they're just
sour
like
spray.
chomping at it.
Oh my. But then also their comments when they were like Charles had left because he had to go see the stewards. That was funny too. Like them being like, "Oh, you have to go see the stewards." But then they were talking about the Max incident, and Lando's like, "Oh, like Oscar was telling me a lot about that. You should really ask him first." And then this is the best part is Oscar doesn't even go like, "Man, being teammates with you is so fun." He says, "Teammates with you so fun." Like Oscar, that is not a complete sentence. That is four words, and it doesn't make sense in that order. But that was really funny. The two of them in the cool down room. When like everyone's like, "Oh my God, they hate each other," and then they're like doing that. It's
But
hilarious.
well, I had like a few because I felt like we were gonna have the same kind of thing. So I also had like well in mind I just have Oscar taste deodorant. But I do want to point out this will be my second point.
Okay.
Everyone not realizing Oscar Piastri had another sister.
Yeah, that's so funny.
And everyone's reactions to it, like everyone's just like, "Who's that in the paddock that they keep showing? That's
Yeah.
his sister!" Like,
Well,
and
he's
then there's a
three.
whole
That's
like,
not even the last one.
yeah, there's a whole like fan club for her now. It's
Yeah.
like it's so fun.
Yeah, and
It,
everyone's saying her style is like 10 times better than his, obviously.
I mean, all of the Piastris have like
All of
really
them.
good style, and none of it rubbed off on
No,
on Oscar. He has
no.
the same like five shots. Like,
Yeah. Okay.
um, yeah.
My last one is Charles finally getting lucky with a safety car.
Mm.
Bless up. Because the two, like the jokes about it and the memes are so funny. Everyone's like, "Oh my God, the day has finally come that he's gotten lucky with a safety car." I used to pray for times like this.
Every time he gets screwed by something, I love seeing the image of who suffered more, Jesus or Charles Leclerc. And it's Charles Leclerc by like 80%. It's so funny.
Yeah, so finally he had a really good triple header, so good for him.
Mhm. He did really well. He got Ferrari back on track
He
after they
did.
looked like they were going to struggle.
Yeah.
My last moment was another post-race interview, but it was Lando trolling George about it, saying, "Oh
Oh,
my God, I can't believe you turned into Max." And
he didn't
then
even
when
do that.
and then when the journalist asked, "Hey, like you said something about Mario Kart," and he goes, "Oh, you heard that?"
Yeah.
Like
But then she keeps going and she asks him about it and he goes, "Yeah, really strong race from me and Oscar. Like really good 1-2 for the team. I think I had a great race, thanks." It's
the
like,
most PR trained response of all time.
yeah. Yeah. Honestly, the whole post race was so good.
Mhm. Hold on, I gotta pause for a second. My battery is about to die.
God. He took off his headset so I can call him out for being so unprofessional. He's never prepared to film these. Let me read our text. I don't think you can hear me. Anyway, let me read our text from earlier. I said, anyway.
Were you just talking about how you were texting me like, "Hey, are you ready?" And I just didn't respond.
Oh my. Yeah, I was.
Uh,
You're always so unprepared.
well, to be fair, I like just eaten dinner. I just sat down. I looked at the script. You're like, "Let me know when you're ready." And I'm like, "Ah."
And then you left me on red.
"Oh, I did. I thought I left it undelivered."
Well, you did leave it on the red, but I knew you saw it because came
Oh,
a second after the one that you left on red.
yeah, yeah. That's a point. Without further ado, let's go on to the Race Hangover Awards. Let's stop talking about my faults and talk about the driver's faults.
Yeah. Okay, who's your driver of the day, and why was it Nico Hulkenberg?
Yeah, it was. Do I have to explain? Like everyone
What the hell's
knows
he doing in
what happened.
P5?
Got a P5 out of it. Went from what, P15 to P5, I believe.
Yeah, might have even been 70, 15. It was
Mhm.
very low.
It was an immense drive from
It
him. He
was
did.
because it was one of the few times that Bortoletto outqualified him, and I was like, oh, maybe a general race from Gabrielle coming in, and then no.
Nope. Old Unk still got it.
Did you see they posted a picture of like the last time he got points, and it was like his
It's like
headshot from then?
2019 or something.
Yeah, and it was but it was his headshot from 2019, and now he looks identical. The man does
Oh
not
yeah.
age.
He genuinely, when like him and Magnussen left F1 and came back, um, they looked the exact same, and they'd
Yeah,
been gone several years, and it was quite funny to me.
it's very funny.
They still look the same.
Yeah. Okay, who's your comeback king?
Add Fernando Alonso.
Okay, yeah.
Due to him hitting the gravel, having an okay start, battling with the Sauber at the start, hitting the gravel, and then proceeding to come back all the way for the first points of the season. I felt I needed to give him something.
Yeah, fair
So I
enough.
felt comeback king was appropriate because Hulkenberg didn't lose the places, he just gained them all. So is
Yeah,
that really a comeback?
yeah. Well, that's kind of the reasoning I have for giving it to Charles Leclerc here because he did qualify kind of lower than expected and came all the way
Mhm.
back to where he was. So
Due,
P3.
due to due to the team orders.
Um, but yeah, and again, like he had a great triple header, so gotta shout him out somewhere.
Mhm. Jacob Cullen, fan of the show, will be very appreciative of that.
Friend of the podcast.
Best radio, and why is it Max Verstappen?
But it's Max Verstappen when he's like, "Why the fuck am I on hards?" He goes, "What kind of tire are these?" They're like, "Hards." Why?
I had Verstappen several times in this.
Yeah.
One was that one. The other one was when they referenced another Grand Prix, like 73 or 74 or something.
Did he?
Yeah, yeah. Early in the race, him and Horner were just talking over the radio, and he's like, "Oh, the downshifts are awful," and then like Horner just goes on radio like 73, and then Max goes, "Yeah, maybe even 74,"
Oh, really? That's funny.
and then the crash out at George,
Yeah.
and he was all over the radio. It was so funny. So
Honorable mention
I
though
think
for the radio I mentioned earlier, where George is like, "What is he doing?" And his race engineer's like, "I don't know."
Invisible Man. Who did you forget about this weekend?
All of them because they slept through the race. But
The graphic, you're just gonna conjure up all 20 drivers' helmets.
but also Stroll because he wasn't in it.
That is true.
And I
I
kind of forgot that he wasn't going to be in it because I watched it and didn't realize there were only 19 positions on the grid.
that is true. But I just distinctly remember going, "Oh, Stroll's not in it" at the start of the race.
Right.
Um, I gave it to Franco Colapinto.
Yeah, fair.
I completely forget there's a second Alpine driver.
Yeah.
Gasly does so well. And then it's almost like a tail of the Red Bull, but just in less like more, no, I
Yeah.
mean less of a light shown on
Yeah.
it because it's not Red Bull. Colapinto didn't do much this weekend.
No. He had
But
trouble in qualifying.
yeah,
The car trouble.
I believe he's a very good driver. Is it the car? Is it him? Who knows?
Gotta be the car.
Um, I mean, to be fair, this is his first one. So he didn't get to start the season, so
Yeah.
everyone's in form, and he has to kind of just hop in and immediately get into a groove. So it's always going to be hard to do that. However, he did that last year, so Um, and that Williams wasn't exactly a rocket ship. So yeah, I don't know. But yeah, the driver I forgot about was Franco Colapinto this weekend.
Fair enough. Break Tech champion. Who could it possibly be?
I actually had two for this one.
Well,
So
yeah, you have Max and then shout out Liam.
yeah, I had Max and Liam.
Yeah.
But because Max is his only chaos came in that one lap. It
Yeah.
was just one lap
Liam,
of madness.
Liam, it's constant.
Liam was throughout the race just being an irritant to other drivers. So if when you do the graphic, if you want to put yourself as Verstappen and me and Lawson, I'm fine with that.
Okay.
But yeah, I had both of them because I can't just give it to one. There was way too much chaos throughout the Red
Mhm.
Bull garages.
Yeah. Also shout out Kimmy for bringing out that safety car.
Yeah, good on you, kid.
No, I'm not gonna make it. I have other notes that I would like to bring up and just Kimmy in all caps, because he went pointless on this triple header. What have
Yeah,
they done, to my
he
boy?
had, he had an awful triple
What have they
header.
done to him?
Um,
Like
the
most of it wasn't even his fault.
No, it was two DNFs due to
Two
mechanical
DNFs
issues, and then
and
the
his
second one was
qualifying.
just and the qualifying as well. So
But that's why he was bad in Monaco is qualifying.
yeah,
Like,
yeah, he most likely would have been up there in the grid.
yeah, devastating
Um,
triple header from
so this, other than George getting P5, this was kind of
just bad from
a
Mercedes.
triple header to forget for Mercedes.
Yeah.
They should probably look toward rectifying it in Canada because they always do decently in Canada, I think. But Canada's always just a fun circuit to watch. You got the Wall of Champions. It could claim someone this year. It hasn't claimed someone in a while. And yeah, I mean, we know friends of the podcast or our show, I
Going.
mean, are going to Montreal. At least my friends. You haven't met them.
I have a
Um,
friend going though.
so we will have them. Oh, big announcement. We will have them hop on for the next race hangover. Well, actually, maybe the next race hangover, depending when they're back,
Yeah.
because they have to get back to
It
my
would be the
location
next
from
one though, because
Montreal.
there's a week off before Canada.
Yeah. Not the next one. I
Yeah.
forget this. I forget that the F1 doesn't just go weekly.
Not a quadruple
Um,
header.
that would be, yeah.
That would
That
we'd all die.
I mean, we'd be fine. The drivers, however.
I'm gonna sleep through another race.
Why did you sleep through it? Were you just tired from the day before?
Yeah. Long actually my brother threw a party anyway.
So we're blaming him for this.
Yeah.
Everyone shame him in the comment section of every reel, every post we make.
No,
Shame her brother
no.
in the comments.
Anyway, yeah, I slept through it. I set my alarm, woke up, and just fell back asleep. And then literally, I kid you not, I woke up and I was like, the race.
You just sat up like you had a nightmare. The
I did.
race.
I was like, I woke up, I go, fuck, I slept through it. And I check my phone, it's 10:30. I was like, oh no. I turn it on immediately. It's the restart, and I watched the last 6 laps, and I was like, okay, wonderful.
Uh, I fear our text chain if you do that on Twitter later, it's gonna be so awful. It'll be like 5 messages because
Yeah, I
I
know I never did it because literally,
because we didn't text each other because I watched 30 laps maybe, and then I had to go to work, so I couldn't watch the second half of the race. So I just came home and watched the highlights.
yeah.
Because I don't have F1 TV, but I need it desperately.
Maybe if this show picks up, we'll afford it next.
Please watch this so I can get F1 TV.
So we can
So
share.
we can
We
get
can,
F1
we can
TV.
watch it together.
Yes.
Yeah. And then my other note is on the topic of the Canadian Grand Prix. The highlight video they showed at the end, like at the end of every race, I'm sure if you watch them on, I think it's on Sky Sports or on TSN, obviously, like they do a little hype video for the next race. And for some reason the one for the Canadian Grand Prix was literally half clips of the RCMP, which if you're not Canadian is the Royal Canadian Mounted Police. So it's just the guys and their horses stomping around for half the highlight reel, and then the other half is like drivers obviously doing their thing. But I was like, why are we romanticizing the RCMP right now? Like the most
I've
stereotypical, like, go Canada.
yeah, because I mean, everywhere they go, they bring out different things of
Yeah, but
that
why is it the RC?
everyone's culture, I guess. But you
Why
think
don't talk to the
Canada?
police?
I don't know. They wear cool hats. I don't know. But yeah, it's. I mean, it's quite funny to me at least. To you, it might be
It's
like,
funny. It's
yeah.
just like why? It's more funny than it is like, oh, hype, I can't wait to watch this next race. Hopefully I see some Royal Mounted Canadian Police.
Oh boy, I hope I see the RCMP on the track.
Yeah. Lance Stroll home race though. Hopefully his hand's all better.
Yeah, that's odd, that whole hand thing. It's the same hand that he messed up last year. So hopefully he gets better because
Yeah.
I'm a Stroll believer. I think he's all right.
He's all right.
Um yeah,
He's fun to poke
but
fun at, but he's all right.
he since Latifi left, he's been the butt of several jokes.
Yeah.
He has been the butt of every bad driver joke of all time. You start to feel for him at some point
Yeah, I don't think
because
he's a bad driver. I just
he
think
got a
he's really
podium at some
funny.
point.
It's
He
just
got a
really
podium.
funny.
We need to respect the podium. Like, but he's yeah, no, it's always funny to just have that one driver that you can just poke fun at the
Yeah.
entire time. But I hope he knows that at least we're not serious about it.
Out of love.
We love you, Lance Stroll.
But you're
But there we go.
wait, that's awesome.
Yeah, that's all I got on Lance Stroll.
Yeah.
We love you, King. Get better soon.
Yeah, yeah, we'll see. That's funny. The other thing I want to mention is I saw on it was like mostly last week on Twitter, everyone was posting about like imagine all these guys who like have to do the race winner graphic and it like never gets used and everyone was talking about Hulkenberg like going in and doing his race winner graphics. And I know he didn't win the race this week, but they did get to use a nice points graphic for him, which they haven't yet really.
Mm.
So shout out again,
It's it's gonna be so tough
generational
because
run.
you have to do all those meetings. So there's like the race winner ones. There's just like there's also celebrating ones where it's like
Yeah,
they can use it for your points thing. Imagine you're in a car that doesn't get a point like a single
yeah,
point the entire season. That graphic just goes to waste.
exactly.
I feel like the admins and everything should just post these graphics at the end of the year, like, oh, they may not have been able to get these points or wins or whatever, but here's their race wins graphic for this year. Because some of them might have had really good or funny ones
They
that we
might have
just
looked
never
good.
see the light
Yeah.
of day. Yeah,
Yeah.
people can thirst over them on Twitter.
Speaking of thirsting on Twitter, I actually should
Oscar
have mentioned.
Piastri's abs and back. Yeah.
But I
Where's
actually don't think it's his abs. It was just like bubbling weirdly because it was wet.
yeah. Where's that Sonic gif of him just
That gift
that thing's
scares
so
me.
creepy. I hate
I
it.
hate it.
And it's
It's
under
so funny you said it. I
everything.
can't believe you hadn't seen it.
I know I had seen it before. I just glossed over it because I'm like, oh, that's odd. And I kept seeing it. I'm like, this is
You
weird.
said it
I
to me
hate
like, "What
this.
is this?" And I was like, "I literally just commented on someone else's.
I
What
just
the hell?
hoped you knew exactly what it also was from because I was like, I don't, and I don't want to search it up.
Scary, scary. I don't like it.
Please stop using that GIF.
Stop. Stop using it. It's not a like, oh, like it
It's not
doesn't
all
make it
cutesy.
so
I feel threatened. See,
makes me uneasy.
I feel bad for the drivers that get thirsted over with that GIF.
That feels
Like
like
it's
a
just
threat.
Lewis Hamilton thirst trap, and it's the fucking Sonic going. Like, I'm like, what?
Yeah, stop using that graphic.
If
Anyway,
you if someone doesn't know what we're talking about, it's gonna be a miserable time just seeing us do this.
surely they know. If they don't, the clip that gets posted will have it with it.
Yeah, the clip that I will not make. I am lazy. I put in no effort here, guys.
Anyway, this is a quick shout out to all of our YouTube Shorts fans.
Woo!
We get so many views on YouTube Shorts.
Shout out our consistent YouTube Shorts
No, no,
enjoyers.
Finn Noel.
Does he watch you on YouTube?
Remember? No.
Oh
He
no,
was,
he just
yeah,
uses YouTube
he's a TikTok
Shorts.
short user. He finally got TikTok, but he used to
Yeah,
be
he
a YouTube
does.
Shorts user.
He keeps logging in on the professional basketball account and watching the TikToks I sent him. So now they're in my like
Yeah.
recommendations of like you should follow them. You
They're
might know them.
fun. Yeah,
And I'm
that's
like,
funny. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. But I
Speaking of
mean,
TikTok, Austin's gonna make a TikTok with his mom soon. So
Yeah, well,
keep an
not
eye
with
out.
her. It'll be of her raiding drivers probably. We keep talking
The
about this every
text.
week. Yeah, the text chain thing. Um,
You should get her actually on.
um, she's gonna watch this. Whether she wants to or not, I don't know. She doesn't know much about F1. She just
Isn't
listens to my dad complain about Lewis and Ferrari, like, and then randomly she'll be like, "Oh, Lando's doing badly," and I'm like, "Shut up."
I've taken to mansplaining F1 to my mom. She'll like come home and be
Get
like,
her on the pod.
I'll be like, Lando did really well this weekend in case you were wondering. She's like, I don't care. I was like, she was gone. I literally texted her. I was like, Lando qualified really poorly today.
We should just do like a random episode of like my dad and like your mom or something. And
Your
we
dad actually
just
knows.
or but my mom and your mom and just see
Yeah.
them try and like walk no, have them watch the race, have them watch quali, have them do all of it,
My
and
mom
then just
won't.
have them do it.
She
She
just won't.
refused.
But then I told you this, but I didn't say it on here, I don't think. The one day last week in Monaco, I wasn't in Monaco, but when they were. Anyway, I walk downstairs and I turn on qualifying. Like it's fresh out of bed. Like I wake up, turn on qualifying. My mom's on her phone. And she turns to me and she goes, "Did you see Lando Norris's new partner?" I was like, first of all, not new. Second of all, yeah.
How do you know about
I was
that?
like, yeah, what do you know about her? Like, what? She was like, oh, I saw it on. I was like, I actually don't care.
Yeah, the amount of times I've just gone upstairs after a race and my mom's like, that Oscar Piastri is quite a bit better than Lando, isn't he? And I'm just like, ah, give it a rest.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. He's having the best season of his career. Lando's not.
I mean, technically he is as well, but
But he's underperforming still, which is crazy.
yeah.
Anyway,
Um,
not opening that can of worms on here.
yeah, we only have 5 minutes left according to Zoom.
Yeah.
So,
And we
any
support both McLaren drivers
yeah, I
equally.
like both of them. I
I
like
do
them. They're
like both
cool.
of them.
Um, any final words to the masses before we get kicked
Um,
out of this meeting?
no.
Also, you hate our viewers. You just
Love
you
you,
don't.
viewers.
Me personally, I love all of you, every single one of you, including Daniel
Daniel
Blanchard,
Blanchard?
who decides to hate comment on us because we
Yeah.
posted one too many Max memes. He will
Sorry,
be
but
watching
you're
this though.
like, he won't watch this far.
It was just the first 5 minutes ago. Yeah, I've had enough.
Yeah, he'll just get in hear us talk about Max earlier and log off.
Yeah. Uh, like this is my goat's being slandered. I can't take this.
It's not slander if he did it.
It's not slander if it's funny.
Yeah, real.
But yeah, that's it. I'll let you take us away then.
Of course, because I always get the outro. That's all from us today. Thank you so much for watching the Race Hangover or listening if you're on Spotify. That's right, we're on Spotify. You can watch without having to see this. But audio viewers, you didn't see our cute little heart earlier, so maybe take over to YouTube and watch as well. But actually, I've been posting the actual video on Spotify, so you can watch on Spotify as well if that's what you're into. Don't know why
Oh,
you would be, but you can. And be sure to follow us over on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok because Twitter, we're quite
active now.
present. We're active. TikTok, we're getting better. Instagram, we're active. So follow us over on all of those at The Race Hangover. Plain and simple. We got the best username, best name out there. So
Mhm.
surprised it wasn't taken. I didn't think we were that original, and yet here we are.
Also, if you guys have any ideas on things we should do
Content.
or yeah, content ideas. I mean, it's always fun, fresh views on what people want to see. Um, shoot us a DM. We own the account. We will see it. So
We is a very
yeah. But this
ambitious
is
term.
real content ideas. I don't want to see any stupid stuff like Austin should go through tables or something. No. Like it's just off the top of my head. But yeah, real content ideas if you guys have any, or if not, just glaze us.
Hey, just send us a nice DM sometimes.
Yeah,
You
just
know?
be like, oh my God, love the show, guys. Even if you don't,
I actually get
tell
those.
us you do.
I get people tell me they like the show actually a lot.
I've got a few too.
Hey, would you look at that?
Yeah. Thanks, guys. We
And if
appreciate
you
it.
like the show, you at home,
Like, subscribe,
drop us a
comment.
like, you know.
Yeah. Do everything you got. Recommend us to your friends. Force them to watch this as well.
Force your mom to watch it. Tell her about Lando's new escapades.
Some word. Wow.
That's what my mom knows about, so
Yeah, make it interesting for them. We cover everything here, so
we
there's
really
something
do,
for everyone.
you know? I was telling my dad about that. I was like, like lots of people out there do like actual in-depth like recaps of the races, whatever. We're here for the memes.
My friends go like, so what do you actually do on that? And I'm like, so you know the really serious news, and then there's the like inside news that like you have to be chronically online to
Yeah.
understand
Or
or know
literally
about.
at the race, like the
Yeah.
journalism. Yeah, no.
Yeah, I'm like, we're not the serious people. We're the silly people.
Yeah. It's in
But it
case you
works.
weren't scrolling on Twitter during the race. We were. And we're here to
Yeah.
deliver that news to you.
Yeah, we
Because
are
knowing what
chronically
kind of
online.
deodorant Oscar Piastri wears is important.
Now you know what he smells like. So if you have a Gloucester PS3 cutout, you can just
Except
shh.
I don't know what he smells. I cannot grasp the concept of chocolate deodorant.
I'm gonna order some to your house. I'm gonna
Give
order
it to me.
10 boxes of chocolate deodorant.
I posted the actual, like, in the memes that I posted today, it's the actual one that he uses.
Yeah.
So you know what to order.
Yeah. Yeah. So join us next week when Katie eats
Tries on
chocolate
yeah,
deodorant.
taste test and see if it's actually chocolate flavored.
I want to know how many people have actually gone, oh, is it chocolate flavored? And just
No
there's got to
way.
someone out there had to have done it. I'm telling you, someone out there has to have tasted their deodorant after that.
Anyway, that's all the time we have for today. Thank you so much for watching. We will see you next week for a Canadian preview and maybe something else.
Bye.